अरे काही सुतलवा हो मनवा जपले सीताराम काही सुतलवा हो मनवा जपले सीताराम सीताराम राम राम काही सुतलवा हो मनवा जपले सीताराम सीताराम राम भई सब पंछी जागे जागे जरती माता ओ जागे जरती माता राम भजन बिन सूना जीवन काहे जन्म गवाता ओ काहे जन्म गवाता मिट जही रे जुगरे साई पाही बहुत राम काहे सुतलवा मनवा जपले सीताराम सीताराम राम राम काहे सुतलवा मनवा जपले सीताराम राम राम है तन मन मनवा जीवन राम है हमरे दाता ओ राम है हमरे दाता चिर संगी वो राम रमैया और सभी जुट जाता और सभी जुट जाता वो है स्वामी जगत रचैया उनकी सभी गुलाम काहे तलवा मनवा जपले सीताराम राम राम काहे सुतलवा हो मनवा जपले सीताराम राम राम मनवा जपले सीताराम राम मनवा जपले सीताराम राम मनवा जपले सीताराम राम मनवा जपले सीताराम
Sitaram devotees, and welcome to tonight's satsang. All of you to please stand for Aarti.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीति आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीति आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीति आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित
You may kindly take your seats. At this point, I pass over to the spiritual leader and president of our beloved Mandir and my dear Guruji, Pandit Amar Sipasad.
Check one. एक बार बोलो श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. So my throat is not still up to standard. So devotees, welcome to the fourth night of this 5 nights yagya right here at Amarjyoth Mandir. I want to welcome you all you wonderful devotees, all those who have joined us for some or all of the last 3 nights. Devotees, may Bhagwan bless you all abundantly. For all of you who have donated towards this yagya, we say Bhagwan's blessings to you. You know, we are indeed very happy. And Amarjyoth Sabha has been in existence for around 70 years. We are taking charge for the last 43 years. This year would be 44 years, right? So for all the support you have given us, so we can continue to promote and propagate our beloved Sanatana Dharma, we say Bhagwan, most wonderful blessings. All right? Special thanks to Pandit Rishi and Pandit Ramesh, of course, for taking charge of all aspects of the puja and the havan. Devotees, in the first night we began this yagya. And anyone remember the theme of the yagya? Anyone? All right, standing up for Dharma. Standing up for Dharma, that was the theme. And the first night I did the katha of Bhagwan from Sri Ram in the city of Ayodhya, where Vishwamitra came and asked Maharaj Dashrath for Sri Ram to protect his yagya. On the second night, Sri Ravi Bharati did katha, the dialogue between Sri Ram and the sage Valmiki, and many other aspects of Sanatana Dharma. You know, he explained to us. And last night, Gita Vahini of the Hindu Prachar Kendra, she did the katha, or at least started some aspects of the life of Shibari. And again, the dialogue of Bhagwan, where Bhagwan says, I don't care about your caste and your race and your religion and your wealth and your fame and name. All I care about is your love and devotion for me. Devotees, tonight I am very happy as the spiritual leader, as the guru of these 4 youths here at Amarjyoth. I'm extremely happy to sit back and play harmonium, accompany them, you know, as they do the discourses tonight. To my right, we have Kavita, Kaira, Paul, the most senior amongst the 4 of them. You're coming to the Mandir for many years now. She's also the secretary of Amarjyoth Sabha. You know, she'll be delivering one discourse. Then we have Nishta, the youngest among the 3. In fact, Kavita, Kaira, she is a student at University of the West Indies, pursuing her master's degree. Nishta, she's a student at Vishnu Boys. She's a girl, but Vishnu Boys she attend, right? Cape, finishing first year Cape and about to begin second year. Of course, I've been to the Mandir for about 8 or 9 years now. A student of Chinmaya Mission Vidyalaya. Devotees, one of our youths at the Mandir, one of our main singers in the Mandir. Then we have Ruchi Maharaj, Nishta Maharaj, Ruchi Maharaj. He's our tabla player, of course, together with Amrish, whenever Amrish can make it. He's a student, of course, Vishnu Boys Hindu College, about to enter university in the next month or so, hopefully. Very active member of Amarjyoth Sabha. And then we have Rupa Maharaj, of course, completing a degree at the University of the West Indies in business management, and now doing some other studies, devotees. She is the PRO of Amarjyoth Sabha. They are all students who have been training for a couple of years now, devotees. And these are the students at present. Later on there can be more, but at present these are the 4 students who are in line to take over the Mandir the running of the mandir, the running of the affairs of Amarjyoth Sabha on the 4th of September. In fact, on the 3rd of September, I forget my birthday, I will be 65 years. So I hope after that, quickly I can sit back and maybe still accompany them playing harmonium, and they can take charge. For the month of July, the 4 of them did one satsang each, sitting on the Singhasan. So they have been on the Singhasan, they have done messages for a couple of years now at Amarjyoth, and messages in our Yagyas. Devotees, messages in our Yagyas, and for many years now, we have had one night of our Yagya where we dedicate to the youths, taking charge of the satsang. And the next Yagya we have, I am hoping that we can have each one of them doing a complete night in our Yagya. So tonight, taking charge of the discourse and the singing and all the wonderful aspects of Sanatana Dharma, I want to present to you Kavita, Kaira Paul, on my right, Nishta Maharaj, next, Ruchi Maharaj, and Rupa Maharaj. I want to ask you to give them a round of applause as we begin tonight's satsang. Ek baar bolo Sri Satya Sanatana Dharma ki Jai.
Thank you, Pandit Amar, for your wonderful words. Devotees, as we prepare to listen to the Katha of Bhagwan tonight, I ask you all to clasp your hands and close your eyes first as we offer love and prostrations upon him. Devotees, हाथ जोड़कर, आंखें बंद कर और भगवान को प्रार्थना कीजिए।
निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि
So, beloved devotees, Sitaram and Swagatam. It is wonderful to see all of you all here on our last 2 nights of this Ramayana Yajna. So I begin my katha today just reiterating what we've heard before in the past 3 nights. Dharma is everything which sustains and upholds the natural laws of the universe and the nature of things. This may include our morals, values, actions, character, behavior, relationship, both with people and nature, our duties, and so on. It is all of these things that describes us as human beings. Standing up for dharma is therefore something that is important for human and spiritual existence and harmony. Does this not make sense? I'll ask it again. Does this not make sense? Okay, good. A child is a manifestation of the DNA of his or her parents. He or she belongs to them, and they take pride in protecting that child. In the same way, dharma is the root, bark, branch, leaves, and basically the entire tree of our existence. And thus, it is up to us to protect and promote and defend it. It may sound like an easy task at first, but when the time comes where you are faced with a situation in which dharma is being compromised, then the challenge surfaces. Our dharma is the target of many and is being attacked in many ways. It may be simple as others making derogatory statements about our traditions, practices, and our moral system. Sometimes, dharma is forsaken by our own Hindu brothers and sisters who may choose the path of adharma and who may persuade us to do the same. And in many cases, devotees, we ourselves threaten dharma when we act according to adharma. And it can be simple actions such as lying, purposely hurting or mistreating others, and so on. The unfortunate situation today is that many Hindus do not and cannot respond to situations to stand up for dharma. It is not a matter of mere ego, but a matter of disallowing someone to degrade that very thing which you stand for and believe in. It is a matter of standing up for unrighteousness by others as well as your own self. How many of us can stand against others to uphold dharma? Let's see, by a show of hands. How many of us can stand against others to uphold dharma? Family, friends, loved ones. What about our own selves? How many of us can recognize when we are thinking or doing adharmic things? And how many of us try to fix that? Or are we too proud to admit that we can do things that are wrong? Devotees, I am not trying to make you feel bad. I am just trying to help you introspect how far you are willing to stand up for dharma. In chapter 2 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna explains to Arjuna the importance of upholding dharma and how one can try to remove the cowardice in them that causes them to fail to do it. Devotees, Arjuna was in a situation where dharma was being compromised and contested by his own family members, his uncles, his cousins. He was a member of the Pandavas, a group of virtuous people who, as best as they could, tried to follow dharma and perform all of their duties in line with that. Their cousins, on the other hand, were the Kauravas, a group of people who were often misguided, unrighteous, and promoted misdoings which left their kingdom of Hastinapur in great degradation. The people wanted the Pandavas to rule. However, the Kauravas stood in their way. In order to save their people and the kingdom, the Pandavas had to act. They had to enter into the battle of Kurukshetra. However, Arjuna, being an emotional person, he did represent a pillar in the support of dharma, but he collapsed with this challenge. He couldn't and he didn't want to fight for dharma because it meant having to fight against his own family. On the battlefield, he approached Sri Krishna and he threw away his arrows and surrendered to the Lord, confused and distraught. O Krishna, on seeing my own kin lined up in front of me for battle, ready to kill each other, I cannot compose myself. I cannot kill my own. I do not see how any good can come from this battle. I do not desire victory, the kingdom, or any happiness. I do not wish to slave them even if they attack me. It would be better if, with weapons in my hand, my cousins kill me unarmed and unresisting on this battlefield. Upon seeing grief-stricken Arjuna and hearing his pleas, our great Bhagwan smiled and he spoke to him. And let us hear what he had to say. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Swadharmam api chavekshya navikampitum arhasi dharmyadhi yudhakshreyo nyashatriyasya na vidyate yadrichaya chopapanam swargadwaramapavritam sukhina kshatriya partha labhante yunamidrisham pathache tvamimam dharmyam sangramam na kareshyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papamavapyasi sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jajajayo tatho yudhaya yujasa naivam papamavapyasi. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, "Besides considering your duty as a warrior, you should not waver. Indeed, for a warrior, there is no better engagement than fighting for upholding righteousness. O slayer of demons, happy are those warriors who use opportunities to defend righteousness. This opens for them a stairway to celestial abodes. If you refuse to fight this righteous war, abandoning your social duty and reputation, you will incur sin. O Arjuna, fight for the sake of duty. Treat alike happiness and distress, loss and gain, victory and defeat. Fulfill your responsibility in this way, and you will never incur sin." Bhagwan says to Arjuna, what he is saying is forget the opponent, forget your emotions, forget who and what will be lost, and forget who or what will lose. This is not your concern. As a Kshatriya or a warrior, your concern is to fulfill your responsibility of defending Dharma. If you refuse to fight this battle for whatever reason, you will be a sinner. Devotees, for Arjuna, it may have appeared adharmic to him to fight against his family on the battlefield. But he had failed to see the bigger picture, which was that if he chose to be a spectator and not a fighter, then the Kauravas would have prevailed, and adharma would rule over the entire kingdom. Bhagwan Krishna is explaining to him that it is necessary to fight in this battle if he wants to save the very dharma which he lives and he loves. Just like Arjuna, it may be difficult for us to stand up against persons who may be acting unrighteously because maybe we are docile people, or maybe because they are someone we care about. However, Sri Krishna tells us that doing so and allowing them to degrade dharma is just as sinful as if we were to do what they are doing. We are not Kshatriyas like Arjuna devotees. I cannot wield a bow and an arrow. But as warriors of dharma and upholders of dharma, in whatever way we can, be it our actions, words, our duty is to ensure that righteousness prevails. There is no spectatorship position when it comes to defending what is right and upholding dharma. It's either we stand up or we fail to act and contribute to its degradation by doing so. Devotees, not everyone is perfect. Even the dharmic Pandavas made missteps in the line of dharma. Yudhishthir fell prey to a rigged gambling game hosted by Dushasan and Duryodhan. In the bidding, he had lost everything: his property, his brothers, himself, and his beautiful wife, Draupadi. He made them all slaves to the Kauravas, and it was their dharma to uphold their end of the bid. Immediately after they lost, Dushasan dragged Draupadi by her hair to the court in the middle of the entire court in front of thousands of spectators, and he forcefully began to disrobe her by taking apart her sari. Everyone stood in silence. The Pandavas, they muttered and they rumbled, they were angry, but they couldn't lift a finger. Only one person stood in her defense, but he was powerless against Duryodhan. We know this katha, we know what happens. We know how Sri Krishna stood up and upheld the dharma of her piousness. But imagine, devotees, a demoralizing scene like this took place in front of thousands of people, and only one person felt that they should have stood up for Draupadi. This represented a drastic fall of dharma. Everyone in that stadium became pillars of adharma, not dharma. And it wasn't just the fault of Duryodhana and Dushasan, but it was the fault of the ones whose hands remained at their sides and whose lips were sealed. Devotees, as people, we open our eyes to tragedy when it happens. We might stand and spectate as something righteous happens. We might pull out our phones in these modern times and stream it to Facebook. And then when we go home, we suddenly have so much things to say. But we should have said those very things there and then. We must be fearless and confident at the very moment when unrighteous activities are being encouraged. We must stand up for what is right when it is needed the most. These are the instructions of our beloved Govinda. Prem se bolo Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. So join me in this bhajan in praise of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Achyutam Keshavam.
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं रामनारायणं
Kishkinda Khan of the Ramcharitamanas, after the kidnapping of Sita Mata, the bears and the monkeys were in search of a messenger to travel across the vast ocean to visit Sita, and a heavy discussion started between them on finding the right person for the job. Our beloved Hanumanji stood mum while everyone else was speaking about who could possibly do this task. This was not his fault. He just didn't know the extent of his greatness because of a shrap that was placed on him. However, Jambavan, who knew the greatness of Hanumanji, called upon him and reminded him of both his duty and the greatness that he had. And when he called upon him, Hanumanji delayed not 1 second and sprung into action, ready to do what he needed to do in service of Dharma. Let us hear what Jambavan said to Hanumanji. Rama, 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 Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, Rama, 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 Hare,
Krishna, 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 Hare,
Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, O Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Kahai Richapati Sunu Hanumana, Kachup Sari Rahe Ubalvana, Rama, 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 Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, Pavana Tanaya Bala Pavana Samana, Boni Viveka Vigyana Nidhana, Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Kavana Sukaj Kathin Jagamani, Jo nahi hoi tat tum pai, Rama, 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 Hare,
Krishna, 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 Hare,
राम काज लगी तब अकारा, सुनत ही भायु पर्वताकारा, राम हरे कृष्ण हरे, राम हरे कृष्ण हरे, राम 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 हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे, राम राम हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे. He said to Hanuman, O mighty Hanuman, how is it that you are keeping quiet? You are the son of the wind god and as mighty as your father. You are the embodiment of intelligence, discretion, and spiritual wisdom. Jambavan then revealed to the unknowing Hanuman that there is no situation in this world that he cannot overcome. And he instructed him, it is for the service of Sri Rama that you, O Hanuman, have descended upon this earth. And in that very moment, Tulsidas said beautifully, Hanuman grew enormous to the size of a mountain, his body shining like gold and full of splendor. Hanuman powerfully spoke, I can easily cross this ocean. Prem se bolo Sri Hanuman Swami ki Jai. Devotees, we are not mighty like Hanuman. We don't have his powers, but we are intellectual people with a voice and an ability to act. We might forget these abilities or we might be unsure of how capable we are, just like Hanumanji did. But the moment we are reminded, either by our teachings and our shastras or by someone else, of our duty, we should be like Hanuman and not delay that opportunity to serve Dharma. Bhagwan is the highest embodiment of Dharma. He is Dharma. And therefore, service to Dharma is service to Bhagwan. In the Sri Ramcharitamanas and in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan identifies Dharma as the most important aspects of life. It is our sacred duty and responsibility to stand up and fight for it. We must do away with our timid and scared ways when it comes to dharma and stand boldly of it. However, I want you all to understand that standing for dharma does not mean standing against others in adharmic ways. There can be no compromise on dharma when standing for dharma. And I will say it again. There can be no compromise for dharma when standing for it. We must fight for dharma in dharmic ways. And devotees, we cannot stand for something that we do not know. If we want to inform others, propagate and promote our dharma, especially globally, we must be properly educated in the knowledge of our culture, traditions, morals, and values. Similarly, we cannot wish to stand up for something we do not practice. We must live by the very same dharma that we wish to defend, and we must do so relentlessly. In fact, practicing dharma is the highest way of defending it. We should try to ensure that every word, every action is aligned with dharma. This is dharma, and this is standing up for your dharma. So as I conclude tonight, I wish to leave you with a quote from the Manu Smriti. Dharmo rakshati rakshataha. Those who protect dharma is also protected by it. Prem se bolo Sri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Sitaram and Dhanyavad.